All right. So a very, very good evening to everyone. It's your boy Kivo once again, and welcome to Eat Everything and Then Some. As I always say in every single episode, we are about bringing you a different type of diet, financial diet, and just, good vibes, good information, and very informative and educated and successful people who will give you a little snippet into their life and how they traverse not only COVID, but their whole career to get to this point. So it's Eats right now, people. Congratulations, you are here. If this is your first time, welcome to Eats. And it's all about the UTC, the Unit Trust Corporation, for sponsoring this fantastic initiative. But before we get into our first segment, let me say some things. COVID is upon us, we all know. I talk about COVID all the time because everybody talks about COVID. But what has COVID taught many of us? Many of us are home, doing nothing, relaxing. But what does COVID mean, right? COVID, COVID. I'll give you a little snippet into what I broke down COVID into meaning. See, you now have to realize that you have to increase your culinary skills. That's what the C stands for. You can't make egg every day. It can't be fried egg, boiled egg, scrambled egg, omelette every day. Increase your culinary skills. That's an important aspect. So you have more time at home, probably learn to cook something else other than egg. You can't live on it. Man must not live on egg alone, right? That's not in the scripture, but it makes sense. You can't live on egg alone, right? Oh, I think people need to understand the importance, and we'll say this with, later on. Other streams of income. Do not ask what your government could do for you, but ask what you could do without the government. Find your talent, harness your talent, and make it into a profession, right? So use that as a way of making extra income other than your job. And speaking of extra income or using their talent to create some type of fantastic profession, our first guest is going to give us a little insight into her. All right, so let's welcome Miss Maegan Brown, and this is the Jiggy segment. Good evening, Maegan. How are you?
I am fine, Kivo. How are you?
I'm great. Long time no see, people. Maegan is a good friend of mine. I know Maegan from way back. It's good to see you, and happy to see that you are still doing so well with regards to Makeup by MGB. How has that been going?
It has been going great. I mean, minus the COVID situation. I mean, other than that, things have been great. Business have been going really awesome. I can't complain.
Yeah. That's nice. That's nice. Now, Maegan, as you know, there are many different makeup artists that we know, right? Professionals and some who claim to be professional. But tell me something about the MUA profession, right? What sets you apart from, any other makeup artist? What have you been able to do to create such a good brand for yourself?
Well, first of all, I have to acknowledge all the MUAs out there, especially the ones you know. I don't want to discredit anybody's skill.
Right.
And I always tell people, every bird have their cheese.
Correct.
And everybody's entitled to their own opinions. And people would say you are the best. And I will take it gracefully. But in this line of work, art is subjective.
Yes.
And two people would look at the same thing and they'll be able to capture different things, especially when it comes to art. If you have an artistic eye, it doesn't always it is not like a cut and dry thing. So
correct.
Like, you're the best anyway, whatever. And I'm like, there's so many different talent out there, but what sets you apart is your confidence, your professionalism, how you deal with your clients, managing your time wisely, and capturing your talent and learn how to grow and learn from your mistakes over the years.
Okay. So everyone says that it's difficult to turn your passion into a profession, right? When did you realize that this was, first of all, a passion, and what made you pursue it to the point that it is now?
Well, I started off working in the bank. I mean, it's a stepping stone. I enjoyed working in the bank, but when you have to present yourself to your clients, it's a whole package. And I noticed that the persons who dressed the part and looked the part, they were the ones who got, the respect from clients. So I took a lot of pride and effort into going to work and dressing to go to work. And I actually got more excited about dressing to go to work than actually going to work. So, of course, while working, you have customers you're interfacing with every day during the day. And everybody's like, who do your makeup? And I'm like, obviously, I did my own makeup. Right. But people were so impressed and they're like, why you don't leave the bank and do this side, do it like a full-time job? And I'm like, no, I would never leave my full-time job to do makeup. Makeup is just like a hobby, but I didn't see it as a profession. But it came to a point where I had to call in sick a lot. I had to take a lot of time off from work. And I realized that I had to invest more time into my business and into my profession. And my mom, she passed away now. And she told me, like, what are your goals? Where do you see yourself? And I'm like, I didn't really have any plans per se, because I didn't want to go back to school to study and all of that. Right. But you know what? I need to look at long term. Where do I see my next 5 to 10 years? So I was already working in the bank for like 5 years. And during that 5 years, the question came up. And my husband, he was like, do you want to do this full time? And I was very fearful at that time when he asked me. And I said to myself, you know what? Do I see myself in the bank for the next 10 to 15 years or 20 years? And I couldn't see myself there long term. It was just like a stepping stone. People always say, if you love what you do, you never have to work a day in your life. So I said, you know what? I love what I do. And I took a lot of time in doing it. And every time I had free time, I was doing makeup. I would do all my friends, family, co-workers. And I started to really build a clientele base using social media platforms. Well, at the time, Facebook was much bigger than Instagram. Yes. So I was using Facebook. And then later on, I started to use Instagram. And then I started to get a lot of traction, a lot of clients. And I was building my client base. And I said, you know what? Why am I even here? So I was going through it was really hard to go to work now, because I'm like, I don't think I really want to be here. It's stressful. The bank was going through its changes. It was sending people home. A lot of things were happening. So it kind of pushed me out. So I said, you know, it pushed me in the right direction at the right time. And I think timing is everything. Yeah. Sometimes you want to do something, but the timing is not right. So you have to really see the signs, and everything was just right place, right time, right move. So I said, you know what? This is where I need to jump on board, jump into doing what I love. And my husband was my biggest support. And he told me he would help me. Wherever I needed the help, he was going to help me. So I said, you know what? I think it's time.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Now that you are here and you are an established makeup artist, everyone says that it's important to have somebody to look up to. Who was your inspiration and what inspires you to keep going?
Honestly, when I started doing makeup, there were not many people in Trinidad and Tobago who was already established. They were, I guess, like the older ones, like Ephraim Hunt, Yvonne Papua, but I was not familiar with them because of the era that they were from. Yeah. So media was not, a big part. But at the time when I got involved, which took about 9 years, at the time there was Krista G, and then there was Ali Villaroo, Felix. Right. So they were the only 2 people at the time. So they were the only people I had to look up to. And basically those were the persons who kind of helped me push myself into doing makeup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, somebody else is asking a question. They want a nugget. What advice would you give to fellow makeup artists who are feeling the pinch at this time? Because because you don't have a clientele, what advice would you give them?
Well, what I would say, and I heard it in one of the last segments, multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
Now, when I left my job, this was my only income. Mm-hmm. So when I was sick, when I was pregnant, when I was tired, I remember when my mom passed away, mm-hmm. I had to, so she passed like the Sunday, and I had to go to do a wedding Monday in Tobago, and then I had another wedding. So I had to like put my life on pause and mm-hmm. get the job done, because if you don't work, you don't get paid. And the other thing, even if you have commitments, everything has to work around your job. So mm-hmm. I would tell people have multiple sources of income, mm-hmm. streams of income. So, and of course, try not to, divert too far from what you're currently doing. So if you're into mm-hmm. makeup, I would say sales, because of what I've noticed in this season, the service industries would have suffered more than the sales industry, right? So persons who are selling products online and, distributing stuff, they can still operate and function. But the persons who are service-based, those are the ones who are suffering more. So if your business is currently like based on service only and you are unable to perform, that means that you're able to make income. So sales and services go together. So I would have another stream of income, preferably something on the lines of sales, which of course would fit in and tie into your business.
Great. So Maegan, the nuggets in terms of multiple streams of income, understanding the importance of timing and professionalism with your craft are something that I would probably take out from what you have told us today. So I really want to thank you, and I'm sure many people would definitely contact you with regard to your services and also how you handle your business. So thank you very much, Maegan, for giving us 10 minutes of your time. Say hello to the husband for me. Tell him Kivo asked for him. And have a wonderful night, and look forward to hearing from you soon.
Okay, thank you so much, Kivo. And
thank you. Take care. No problem. All right. So we just heard from Maegan Brown. It was a very informative session. It was very, very it was very deep in terms of the way in which she would have explained different aspects of her life and how she came from the passion that she had into the profession. So if you want to be an MUA, you could definitely look to Maegan for inspiration and for guidance, because many of your ladies, I have to say, you're not taking a professional advice. You do what you want home and coming out to the people place, right? You can't be coming to people fet and not get advice from Maegan, right? Somebody that's putting on makeup, right? And you're forgetting the neck. And you're out there looking like a minstrel. We don't want minstrels, right? Some of you are putting on too much as well. Too much on the face. And when they smile, they see the crack. We don't want that. We don't want that. Fix it. Talk to Maegan first before you put on anything. Why are we doing this in the people place? My goodness. Anyway, before I get into that, too deep, let's move on to the next segment, right? This is called Pocket Change, and we're going to talk to Sapphire Giroux from the UTC. Let's go. A pleasant good evening, Sapphire. How are you?
Good evening, Kivo. I'm fine, thank you.
So first of all, let me ask you, how have you been dealing with, everybody knows, the COVID? How has that been affecting you, or how have you learned anything from this COVID experience?
Well, one thing I've definitely learned is that when you're at home, it's longer hours behind your laptop, but it's truly an experience to just spend some time with your family and really reflect on a lot of things that you won't have the time to when you're at the office.
Yeah. No, one thing I realized in my personal experience is when I am home now, I realize how many things I don't spend money on anymore, right? And I'm still okay, right?
Correct.
So in terms of that, I've been able to track my spending, right? And see, listen, you know, it have things I really don't need to buy, right? So how important is it to track your spending as a young adult, anybody?
Oh, okay, well, that's an interesting question. But you know, someone may ask as well, what does it mean to track my spending?
Okay.
So tracking your spending involves a monthly monitoring and record keeping of your income. That's the money you earn and your expenses, what you actually spend. It is a bit different to having a budget because with a budget, you set defined monetary amount. But with tracking your spending, it helps you to actually stick to your budget. Now, you asked about, you know, the importance really of tracking your spending. So first of all, it's good that you're doing it. And I will just share with the listening and viewing audience, you know, 4 reasons why it's really important to track your spending. So firstly, it allows you to take control of your financial situation. So knowing where your money is going and what you are spending it on is empowering. In fact, if you don't know what you're doing with your money at all, you're really at risk of living above your means.
Right.
And one familiar example, Kivo, is Toni Braxton. We're all familiar with Toni Braxton. Beautiful voice, $1 million albums. Yet she was between $10 and $50 million in debt, and with only between 1 to 10 million in assets. So you might be wondering, well, how did that happen? Well, credit card debts with interest racking up over time, unnecessary shopping, and spending beyond monthly earnings, and also not being actively aware of questionable charges or banking fees. So you get the gist. Keeping an account of your spending is really a safeguard. Secondly, it forces you to consider your priorities. And this is important. Because as you said, you never run out of things to spend your money on, but it's easy to run out of money.
Right.
And I know some of the fellas listening here might be thinking, you know, when you're dating that girl and she's always hungry, maybe you might need to remind her about priorities. Right? But seriously, tracking your expenses gives you a clearer picture of things that are necessary and those that are not. So if you want to pay off that debt sooner rather than later, or enroll in that master's class you've always been thinking about, having a clearer picture of your finances will help you to determine how you can make either one of these things a reality by shifting your spend. Thirdly, tracking your expenses helps you to attain your goals. And this is important because we all have goals. While our goals often depend on money, few of us know exactly how much we'll need or how much we have to save each month to get there. So tracking your spending allows you to forecast your future finances. And this is a personal favorite of mine. Because without goals, you have no motivation to save and vice versa. So what I do, I carefully list my monthly expenditure so I can derive an average of how much I spend or save rather each month, and therefore how long it will take me to attain that desired goal. So that's how I keep track of my expenditure. So I'm not just going on a whim when I have a goal. I'm actually planning ahead for that. And the last point is that it allows you to identify spending habits. And this is a big one, Kivo, because when you track your expenses, you are now face to face with the reality of your own spending. Learning things about yourself that you didn't even know, as you mentioned before, things that you can live without. Right? So ladies especially, how many times have you gone to Pennywise and said, I'll spend just about $300 to pick up the necessities? I know I'm guilty of it. And by the time we arrive at that cashier, you realize it's a $600 bill and you're looking at the bag and you're wondering, where did I spend all of this money? Maybe because the packaging was cute, so you pick up a couple extra things. We're all guilty of it. So there are things that we buy for comfort. So it's comfort buying, things to make us happy, to release some stress. It might be a reward for a good month's work. But even though those things are not bad within themselves, right? It's a fine line between rewarding and splurging. So your weaknesses might be what? What are your weaknesses? It might be clothes. For me, it's shoes. Some people, Right. So some people, it might be fast food. So sometimes you might be looking at your old receipts and, wondering, how did I spend so much money in one store? So you don't think at the time that you're spending a lot, but the numbers show you otherwise. So this is the reality check that we might need, that reality that is enough to correct our spending habits and allow us to purchase just what we need or what we need to consume.
Yeah. Now, you know what I realize? A lot of people have this about mentality. When I say about, they track their spending, but they don't write it down. So they will spend $275, $185, but they only looking at the first number. So they tell themselves it's $300 that they spend. But that time, the $70 and the $80 that attached to that number, it goes up to extra $150 that you're spending. So every week or every month, you end up spending probably $1,000 more because you haven't tracked it properly and put down some type of value on a piece of paper. So how do people now track it? Are there tools that they could use to track their spending?
Of course, there are numerous tools. And you see, tracking your spending does not have to be tedious. And sometimes that's what goes through people's minds. So they think that writing it down, it's too much to do. But they're simple and effective tools. So for example, pen and paper or spreadsheets, it's old and trusted. So for me, I use the Notepad app on my phone. So I put down my income figure after taxes or any other automatic deductions. Then I list weekly what I've spent for the month, including the $20 that I gave to my coworker for her child's school project. Yes, I list everything. Right. So you can categorize however you wish, whether it's your fast food, your rent, utility bill, entertainment, groceries, vehicle, whatever you spend, you make a note of it. Because as you rightly said, those things add up. So what you do at the end of the month, you add up everything and you derive your spend versus your income. And you can also use other tools like Microsoft Excel spreadsheets or Google Doc on your smartphone. But we're also living in the 21st century, and most, if not all, banks have online banking statements. So that's another tool that we can use.
Yes.
Some people use the convenience of their online banking to track the credits and debit card spending.
Correct.
And this is very useful. But if you also use cash, it's just a reminder that you want to track that spending alongside that as well. So you look at your online banking statements, but you also make notes of your cash spending. So it means asking for receipts when you go to the store and keeping them. Online statements also allow you to see exactly what is coming and going out of your account, which is what I love with online banking. So you add up all the spends and you subtract your income, and that's vital. So it helps you. And another tool that I've also seen a lot of people use worldwide are those tracking apps. So there are numerous apps that you can look at. And one popular one is called Mint. So what Mint does is really it's an online budgeting tool. So it automatically downloads transactions from various sources that you would have. So it sets up a secure connection to your checking account, credit account, and other spending sources that you'd have online. And what it does, it pulls all those transactions into one spreadsheet. So it makes it a bit easier for you. So you now have one secure place to view your spending, right? The downside with these things, especially for older ones, but I mean millennials, we look at safety as well. So we can do our research. But with this particular tool, you have to give the app your banking credentials. But based on all the thousands of reviews that I've seen, it's a pretty secure tool. So you can go on, whatever works best for you. So you might not like this particular app, but there are numerous tracking apps that you can use. So those are just a few of the tools you can try.
Very informative. I'm definitely going to check out that Mint app. Now, before we go, Sapphire, what advice would you give to a millennial who, has the urge to spend a lot?
Well, Kivo, my advice is simple. Think about the rewards. As young people, we thrive on rewards and we feel good about our achievements. So be your own cheerleader. Don't just think about what you can attain now in rushing to satisfy your wants. Think about your future rewards. So by curbing your spending today, 2 years from now, you can have your down payment for your first car. 5 years from now, you can have enough capital to start your own business. And we just saw that with Maegan earlier. 10 years from now, you can purchase your own home. That can be a reality. So my advice is don't let your present self or mismanagement of money prevent you from achieving life goals.
Sophia, thank you so much. That was excellent information. We appreciate that a lot. People come to UTC. These are the people who are educated and know exactly what it is to organize your financial future. So, Sophia, thank you so much. And we appreciate all the information.
Thank you for having me and Eat.
Do have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
So people, that was Sophia. That was some great information. I'm going to download that app for sure, that Mint app, and use it to see whether or not it can assist me in ensuring that I track my spending and finances, right? She also spoke about making sure that you track everything, fellas and ladies, when you're going out, right? You don't want to go to a restaurant and just to impress the young lady. You know you can't afford the restaurant. I did that once, right? I should have known. I went to the restaurant. I said, well, all right. Let my budget a little $400, $500. Home girl going in the back of the book. And you know when I go in the back of the book, what going on there is steak, is lobster. It's too much things I could afford. I really couldn't do it, right? She ordered it. I had to order soup because I had to balance my books. I can't order anything fancy. I had no choice. So I there starving on soup and she eating steak. Madness. So make sure that you track your spending. I call it the feeling for syndrome. The feeling for syndrome occurs right after payday. 3 days after payday, it's called the feeling for syndrome. That's when you go to rituals and you say, I'm feeling for chiller. You see that feeling for? Feeling for syndrome makes you spend things that you emotionally want. And you might have that feeling for syndrome for 3-4 days and go outside the budget. So be careful, right? Don't nasty up the place with endless expense, right? But I said nasty up, right? On the topic of nasty up, I want to bring on somebody here. This man, when he come on, I will talk to him, right? This is the big to big segment. Problem is a problem.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Oh,
what's going on, brother?
Everything is going on. Everything's good. Everything's all right. I'm just chilling.
Nice. Mr. Johnny Fontaine, boy. How are you, sir? How has COVID been treating you? I asked everybody that question. How has COVID been treating you right now, bro?
I mean, same as everybody else, just trying to, keep mental stability and stay busy, stay occupied. And when life gives you lemon, you make lemonade. So we here, so try to make the best of the situation you're in. Don't mope, try to find some kind of good out of it. So that's what I've been doing. Yes,
great attitude to have, bro. Listen to me. I went on the Uber Soca cruise last year, and that was the first time I heard that song. And I always told people, listen, too much groovy in soca. We need something with energy. And I saw what that song did to people. It energized people. Rain, people with injuries, they didn't care. That song was the healing of the whole Uber Soca cruise, brother. Yes, so congratulations, first of all, with that fantastic track.
Thank you very much.
No problem. So tell me, in terms of your progress, right? Did you start off as a soca artist? Were you more a writer, or were you both at the same time to get to this point?
I wasn't really into soca, I wasn't into soca. I thought I was gonna be a rap star or a dancehall artist.
Okay.
But when I migrated to the States, when we would go out to party and stuff, they never used to play soca, but they used to play like 3 songs. Mm-hmm. So while playing these 3 songs, it would be such a grand occasion or moment, because we never used to get it. So it's like, absence make the heart go fonder. It was like the lack of soca music that made me appreciate it more, because when I was back in St. Vincent, it was there. I was like, whatever, and I had the opportunity to do a record one time with this producer, but I wasn't a soca artist. So I basically did what I could do in terms of dance hall on the soca beat. And they sent it back to St. Vincent, and it did pretty well. So I just continued from there. And a couple of years later, you know, I did Party Animal, and then I was like, okay, I guess I'm a soca artist now.
Yeah. So tell me, I see the life of a soca artist more vividly now, you know, being part of events, etc. How do you maintain that life balance, you know, in terms of your private life and being in the limelight? How do you manage that, or somebody manage that for you?
It could be somewhat difficult. It could be somewhat difficult, but I'm a pretty blunt person. I'm pretty adamant about what people should know and see, because I have to keep something for myself. You know, there's what we call trolling now, which is any and anything for the attention, to keep the eyes on you, to engage your audience. I'm not too heavily into that. You know, I'm more about realness and being who I am naturally. So it's a little bit challenging to balance, but you know, I try to just push out the music and give them enough of what they need to see, not too much.
Nice. So seeing that, you know, this COVID has affected everyone, and obviously the industry in terms of entertainment has been affected so significantly. How do you see the industry moving forward, right? Is it going to be a totally different ball game? Do you have to now divert and change your plans for, let's say, 2021? Because I'm sure what's going to happen next year, this year, sorry.
Wow, that's an excellent question. If you are about your business and you're set up properly, then you should be able to surpass this and get by financial wise. If you're a songwriter, artist, your royalties and your publishing and everything is in order, you should be getting a little something while not being able to perform and so on and so forth. This is a creative time. This is a time to be creative. This is time to improve on the ideas that you had. Nobody should come out of this the same way, you know, when it happened. You know, you should get better at something, or at least learn something new. For instance, I am now recording myself at home. You know, because the studio that I go to is closed down. The gentleman doesn't want anyone coming there, rightfully so. So I invested in enough equipment to record my own vocals at home, and I just send it off to him. But it's better for me. So it's all about preparation and just assessing the situation and seeing what can you do to better yourself out of this, because it will pass. It will pass, and when it does, it's all about what you did while it was occurring.
Correct.
That's going to put you in a situation to be better off when it passes.
Makes sense.
Yeah. A lot of people are taking it, laying down, sitting down, like waiting, and whatever the case. That's not the right approach.
No, definitely. Now, someone was asking, now we know COVID was difficult, but everybody would have gone through difficult things in their past. Now, what, in terms of your career, would you have gone through that was difficult, but you're glad that you went through that period?
Not being hand-fed. Not being hand-fed. Nobody pulling a string or opening a door, so to speak. The hard work. Because anything you have to do over and over and over again, it's training, whether you know it or not. And if I was spoiled or being spoon-fed, hand-fed, whatever you want to call it, and given everything on a silver platter, I would not work hard. Therefore, I would not have gotten better at anything. You know? And I would continuously and continually wait for these people to keep doing that to me. And if one day they turn their back, then I'm out the door, you know? So thank you. No favors. I'm good. I appreciate that.
That's great. Now, you know, let's move away from the career and let's move now into talking about you, Johnny Fontaine. So tell me, what about you that would you like to share that people would know? Is there a hidden talent that people don't know that I do, or you know, is Johnny Fontaine different from Problem Child?
People know everything about you in this generation.
True.
No secrets. I mean, I'm just a regular person, you know. I just love music. I do a lot of songwriting outside of being an artist. And as far as hidden talents, I know how to cut hair. You know, I could probably give you the best haircut you ever got in your life.
Really?
Yeah, like I'm really good. That's what I used to do while doing music, and I just stopped doing it like last year. So, you know, the skills is still up to par. My actual name is really Schertz James, Shertz, or Z, as it say up here. James Johnny Fontaine is a moniker that people knew about me or knew me by, based on the fact that explaining my name and how it came about was too much of a long story. So somebody just called me John one day. I don't know where they got that from. and it just stuck. So I just played off that.
Whoa.
Yeah. I have a German name and I don't know what it means. So I have no clue what it means.
Wow. Okay. That's something that I think a lot of people did not know at all.
Yeah, well, if you read, it's pretty much out there in terms of like credits for when I write songs and so on and so forth, and like different media articles and everything. I always give my correct name.
Wonderful. So before we go, everybody, looks up to a soca artist or somebody in their community who has done well, and they want to know, what can I do to get to where you are, right? What are you telling the Caribbean artist, the Vincentian, whoever? What are you telling that 10-year-old boy, 10-year-old girl? Hey, these are the things you need to follow to get to where you want to be.
It's very easy. It's not as difficult as people think it is. You just have to don't give up.
Yeah.
You have to don't give up, and there are no losses, there are only lessons. And when you learn something, make use of it. If you try to do anything, if you want to be a surgeon, people will be like, you want to be a surgeon, you mad. But you put your mind to it and say, that's what I'm going to be. You might achieve it when you're 60 or however age, but the fact of the matter is you didn't give up and you will achieve it.
Yeah.
That's the law of the universe. Nobody could stop that. If you decide you're not going to give up, it's only if God take your breath that could stop you. You just have to make the effort. So just don't give up and be willing to learn and put what you learn to good use, and you will succeed.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Last question. So someone said, do you think that you would do any collaboration in the future? If so, do you have a preference to who you think you would want to collaborate with?
I would definitely collaborate with people. It doesn't matter who. Could be an unknown artist, an established artist outside of soca. I don't have a preference. It just has to make sense. It just has to be good music. I don't look at the person. The music is bigger than all of us. So I wouldn't be able to just say an individual because of who that person is. Because if I don't feel the correct energy and spirituality and connection with that person, I wouldn't be interested in doing it.
Yeah. Makes sense. So, Problem Child, this was some informative information, but it was informative information. It wasn't just spurious. And we really want to thank you very much for coming on our platform and giving us such an insightful, conversation. So I want to wish you all the best for the rest of 2020. You and your family.
You and everybody else that was on here or who's on here.
Yeah, man. And wish you the best. Keep safe, keep good, and we're looking forward to more power, boy. You will be one more power.
I'm ready.
You're ready?
Ready.
Nice. So thank you very much, sir. Have a great night.
All right, thank you.
Catch up. Take care. People, I tell you, eat is where it's at. Eat is where it's at. You all got some information from Maegan, from Sapphire, from Problem Child that I think is priceless. This is what we need. We need to hear from well-known people who can give you a different side to themselves and give you great advice. And this is what it is all about. Everything and then some. You understand? Your cup run it over. So remember, I want to always endorse going on to the Facebook page, the Eats Facebook page, everything and then some. Check out the page, join the group, get connected with people with like minds, right? Is the concept of coals. When you put a piece of coal inside a hot set of coals there, that coal in essence gets hot eventually. So you want to be around that type of people, that type of like-mindedness so that you yourself can grow. And the UTC is that hot pot of coals. So don't miss out the next episode of Eats this Wednesday. And I'm going to tell you who's going to be there. Come and see it for yourself. This was Eats. Kivo out.
Whoa.